Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome to this strength yoga inspired sequence today. You're not really going to need anything. I am sitting on 2 yoga blocks though, so if you need a cushion, if you want an extra bolster, bring that. And we are going to go through some breath work first and then move into some strength work, some standing movements. So I do tend to cut off a little bit of my head because it is a live class. So that's probably why you've got a few interruptions in me speaking to clients. And if you haven't already, click subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Let's get started on your slow strength flow today. So let's start off actually with some breathing, and just like yesterday you can either sit cross-legged or you could nab some blocks and sit on the blocks for that extra support. So whatever you feel comfortable doing, grab that and just settle yourself in, hands on your thighs or your knees. Take your 3 grounding breaths. So inhale, shoulders up against your ears. Gather any horrible stuff that you may be containing, and then exhale, sigh it out and drop those shoulders down. Beautiful. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, shoulders up against your ears, and then exhale, release it. And 1 more. Inhale. Gather anything you no longer need and exhale. Beautiful. Okay, we'll go through a 4 count breath, but we're not going to hold it. Okay, so we're going to do an inhale for 4 and exhale for 4. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Close down your eyes if you feel safe in doing so. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. So keep on this breath count for 4, 3, 2, 1 as you exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. As you're inhaling, I just want you to focus on any area in your body that may be holding some tension, some resistance, maybe to a particular issue that you're facing right now. And I want you to just be in that experience. Try not to change it. Try not to brush it aside, push it under the rug. Just allow yourself to be in this inhale, in this exhale. If you're feeling any stuckness around the hips or the kidney band or the lower back, maybe your upper back is carrying some tension or your shoulders are carrying some heaviness, just sit with it. Sit with this presence as you're breathing in for a count of 4. And exhaling for a count of 4. Just 1 more minute here. Inhaling and exhaling. So this whole practice will be about how to nurture yourself and ground into where you are. We're going to cultivate strength, cultivate our willpower, our determination, but we're going to be a little bit more nurturing and kinder to ourselves as we do this. So we're going to start off slowly opening up your eyes as you've finished that round of breath, and come over to your back. So just taking the feet in front of you, hip distance apart, and then slowly curl down onto the mat, nice and gentle. So let's just get our spine in neutral for a moment. Just shift your hips from left to right. Perhaps shift your knees a little bit over to 9 o'clock, to 3 o'clock. So we don't want to push ourselves too much here. Very, very gentle. You probably may have already been moving, been up and around. You've done lots of things on your to-do task, or if you've just literally, this is the first thing you're doing today, allow yourself to be compassionate. allow yourself to nurture this moment, coming into this present state. Ground those feet and just tilt your pelvis up and down now. So focus on your feet, hip distance, and now focus on pushing your feet into the ground and just rock your pelvis up and down. So from north to south, all we're doing is a gentle tilt with our pelvis, widening it, the gap between our back and the floor, and then widening and reducing the gap between the back and the floor. So find that happy medium between 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock and 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Beautiful. Now pressurize your feet into the ground. Really push all four corners of those feet into the floor and really focus on squeezing those hamstrings, squeezing those thighs, squeezing those glutes. We haven't even moved yet, but we're still pushing our feet into the floor. You might start to feel those shakes. If you're not, really ground those feet into the floor. We're not lifting our hips up yet. One more breath here. Feel those shakes between those thighs. Inhale and exhale. Push those feet into the ground and lift those hips up. So we're using our feet to lift up our hips. Lower down slowly. And let's go for 20 reps here. As we push our feet and our heels into the ground, we're lowering, tapping our pelvis to the mat, and then lifting and squeezing your glutes at the top, lowering and tapping to the ground. I am counting as I'm speaking, do not worry. So you keep focusing on the way your feet are pushing into the ground, the way your knees are driving towards the toes, the way your pelvis is lifting up from the strength of your legs. We're creating this new foundation today. If you had done this session yesterday, you may be feeling your legs, and that's a good thing. They're switching online, switching on your core. Good. Halfway here. Keep breathing as you inhale and exhale with the movement. In through the nose, out through the nose. Keep squeezing the glutes, pushing the pelvis up to the sky. Good. Last 5, 4, 3, 2. On that last one, let's hold it up. 3 breaths here. Keep driving the feet away. Keep squeezing the inner thighs together, squeezing the butt. Last 2 breaths. Last 1 breath. Hold it here. Pick up that right leg and just cross it over, nice and tight over your left leg. Beautiful. Let's go for 10 single leg pumps. So dropping down and lift for 10. You're not going to come up very high, and that's okay. We're driving that left foot into the mat. Pushing with our heel, the outside foot, the big toe mound is pushing down. You're squeezing that left glute. It's going to give us that preparation and strength later on in this session. So squeezing, last 3. Good, last 2. Last 1. Hold up for 2 breaths. Really push that left foot into the ground. Now just swap sides. I know this is going to be a little bit challenging. Take that left leg over to the right. Keep those hips up. And we're going to pump for 10. Squeeze the glutes. You guys are doing amazing. Absolutely incredible. Keep focusing on the breath. Good. Halfway. Last 5 pumps. Squeeze that right glute. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and hold for 2 breaths. Push, push, push that right foot into the ground. Squeeze the glutes. Last breath. Release that left foot and slowly from the top of the spine all the way to your pelvis. Drop down to the mat. Now separate those feet just ever so slightly and just rock from left to right. Just iron out any niggles that may have impacted your lower back. Just rock those knees from left to right. Beautiful. Okay, so let's come into a little bit more core work, which is going to serve us when we come into those leg balances, those standing position. So elevate those palms straight up to the sky, and then pick your feet up into tabletop. So your knees are hip distance, okay? Take a deep breath in. I'm gonna elevate my right leg up to the sky and then come back into tabletop. That's all we're gonna do. Left leg up to the sky, back into tabletop. So really push your lower back into the floor as we swap. Right leg raise and lower. Left leg raise and lower. So what you're doing is you're pushing your lower back into the mat, you're pulling your navel into the spine, and you're really working that core. And some of you might feel that tension as your arms are raising up to the sky too. I know my breath is getting a little bit more erratic, so let's go for 3 more here on each side. 2, and last 1. Beautiful. Bring those knees in towards your chest. Just rock from left to right, side to side. So anytime you need a break during this core movement, come back into this nurturing, loving movement, okay? So there is no pressure to continue. Listen to yourself. So let's take it up another notch. Palms up to the ceiling, legs in tabletop position. And this time we're gonna raise our right leg up to the sky, and then we're gonna lower our leg as far as you possibly can, as close to the mat, and then we're gonna bring it in, so we're not gonna touch the mat. Left leg up to the sky. We're gonna lower down as close as we can to the floor without touching, and then lifting in. Make sure you're pointing the right toe as you raise and lower. Bring it back into tabletop. Raise that and point the left leg as you lower. Bring it back into tabletop. Let's do 5 more on each side. Now the pace is up to you. The slower you go, the harder it will be. You are going to feel this in your core, that at any time if you're feeling it in your lower back, don't go down as low with the leg, or transfer those hands underneath the bum. Just to give your lower back that little bit of support. So you don't need to be a hero. You don't need to compete against anyone else apart from your old self. So if you're here, we've got 3 more on each leg. Whew, I am going pretty slow on this one. So if you're already done, remember, come back to hugging those knees. This is last one for me on each side. Really feeling the core strength, feeling the lower abdominals pull in. Oh yeah. Okay, bring those knees in towards your chest. Oh, beautiful, everyone. Well done. Gather up that energy, gather up that strength. I'm going to take it up another notch again, okay? So palms up to the sky, knees in tabletop, take them away from your hips. And this time I'm going to flex and point the toes. So we're going to flex and kick that heel into the mat, come back into tabletop. The left leg, heel touches the mat into tabletop. Now point those feet before you transfer. We're going to now toe tap the right foot back into tabletop. Toe tap the left foot back into tabletop. Let's switch it. Heels, flex. Heel tap right, heel tap left. Point those toes. Toe tap right, toe tap left. Flex the feet. Heel tap right, heel tap left. Point the toes, toe tap right, toe tap left. Let's do 1 more of each. Heel tap, pull the navel in, push your lower back into the mat. Toe tap right, toe tap left. Can anybody do 1 more? Should we do heel tap 1, heel tap 2, woo, toe tap 1, toe tap 2. Okay, bring those knees in. Beautiful, beautiful. Give yourself a little bit of a rock. Amazing. And just grab just underneath your knees and just do some hip circles. So let's just roll out those hips. We've done some leg strength, we've done some core strength. Just roll out those that hip joint. We are going to need that strength, the mobility around this area, and circle the other way. Beautiful. Okay. I'm going to turn over to my right side. You choose whichever side you would like to start on first. And we're basically going into some clams. So when we're doing some standing movements, we don't want to put all the emphasis in our legs. We want to work on our gluteus medius. Bring the knees together, bring those heels together, and just take your thumb and touch your left glute if you're on the right side. And just take your fingertips to the front of the hip flexors. So it's almost like you're cradling your hip, yeah? So I've got a nice triangle with my arm. Keep those heels together and raise the left leg up. Now really squeeze this glute. So we're gonna slow it right down, okay? So we're gonna lower it down, push your thumb into the fleshy part of your glute, open up and hold. Beautiful. Try not to move those hips. Lower down. We're only going to do 10 of these, but these 10 are going to be super, super effective. Lower down. And remember, you're squeezing your abdominals here. We've worked hard to activate them. We don't want to let it go floppy when we're in this movement. So really squeeze the abdominals halfway here. Squeeze the glutes. So squeeze the thigh up towards the ceiling. Last 4, last 3, last 2, one more. This time hold that knee up and then flex the foot. So yeah, beautiful. Now just turn the heel so the heel is down and the toes are lifted. Now turn the heel is up and the toes are down. Can you feel the difference? Because before, when your toes are up and the heel is down, you're probably going to feel the front of the thigh. Now when the toes are down and the heel is up, you're probably going to feel the back of the hamstring and the glute, yes? So keep the heel up, the toes down, and we're going to take the toes to the floor first. The heel is still elevated. Lift the heel up to the sky. So lower down, the toes touch, and the heel is always up, pointing to the sky. So we're really going to flex into the glute. Let's speed this up a tiny bit more. So we're going to go for 8, 7. Keep squeezing the glute. Use your hand if you need to. Really activate the muscles that you're using. Focus on that area. Last 4, 3, 2. This time hold it up, point those toes, and just do mini circles. 5 in one direction. 5, 4, point those toes. 3, 2, 1. Pause and circle the other way. Mini circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Drop that leg. Give that thigh a little bit of a massage. Give the glutes a little bit of a massage if that felt a little bit tingly. And let's do that whole thing over to the other side before we start into our standing sequences. So last one, digging that right thumb into the glute, pressing the fingertips into the hip and opening up our knees. So remember the squeeze. Imagine if you've got a rubber band around those knees and you're peeling them away, lowering down with control. Good. Last 6. Last 5. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 4. 3, keep those abs tight. 2, up and hold, and then extend that top leg. And remember, you're going to point the feet down and our heel is going to point to the ceiling. Lower down with control, heel lift. So lead with the heel for 10, for 9, for 8, squeeze the glutes, 7, focus on the rib cage drawing in, belly button in. Good, last 3, 2, 1 and hold, point the toes and circle for 5, 4, 3, 2, pause, circle the other way for 5, 4, 3, 2, lower down, give the glute a little bit of a squeeze, and let's take our hands over to all fours. So again, let's focus back into our plank position. Hands shoulder distance apart. Extend the left foot, extend the right foot, hold into a plank position. Nice strong plank here. Push the ground away with those hands. Look forward at a 45-degree angle. Keep breathing in through the nose. Good, 5 more breaths. Nice and strong position. Last 2 breaths. Now walk, step, or hop all the way up to those hands. So choose how you would like to get there. Halfway lift, and then exhale, lower. Root to rise, ground up into raise up to the sky. And then take those arms alongside your heart, down beside you. Beautiful. Let me just adjust the picture so you can actually see these standing movements. All the way down, down to the ground, down to the toes, halfway lift. And exhale, lower. Ground to up, root to rise. Beautiful. Hands down. One more. Palms up to the sky, raise up. Exhale, lower down. Halfway lift. And this time, set both fingertips alongside your left foot. Take your right leg back and plant it down for warrior 1. Elevate yourself up. When you're good and ready, hold here. Palms up to the sky. Inhale. So pushing the right part of your foot into the ground, squaring both feet off. Inhale here. Exhale, find your footing and take yourself over to warrior 2. Beautiful. Stay here. So your left knee is pointing towards the 3rd and 4th toe. You are squaring off your hips, driving the right part of your foot into the ground and looking beyond the horizon. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in. Take it forward to reverse. And then exhale back into warrior 2. Take those feet over to a nice standing high lunge. And then taking the fingertips behind you, interlace your fingertips. You might want to take a small hop, but if you're feeling confident, bend that right knee. Look at a point of focus in front of you and then lift your right leg into warrior 3. So square off those hips, so 3 breaths here. Listen carefully, release those hands and bring that right knee straight up to a high knee variation. Grab that left hand over to the right knee, and then if you want to stay here, or you can rotate that right hand behind you and look towards your thumb. Breathe here for 3 breaths. Beautiful, come back to center. Drop that right leg down. Take both arms up to the sky. Exhale, dive straight down. Option is chaturanga, halfway lift. If you want to go straight into jump back with those legs. Chaturanga, up dog, down dog. We're going to repeat the whole thing on the left side. So raise that left leg up. Push it through in between those hands, plant that right leg down, and then lift up with both hands, warrior 1. We just did this side, didn't we? Give me a yes or a no. Do we need to swap over?
Yes.
I knew we did. All right, my fault. Let's swap legs. So, right leg forward, drop that left leg back, and then lift up. I was thinking if I do a warrior 2, I won't be facing you, but I will be. I apologize. Take a deep breath in here. 2 more breaths. Push that left foot into the ground. And then transfer the weight over to that warrior 2. So get yourself set up Take your time. Ground into that left foot, that knife edge of the foot. Come back into central alignment. Squeeze the glutes. So this is why we were doing those glute prep work. And look over to the horizon. 2 more breaths. See if you can sink a little bit deeper. 1 more breath. Flip those palms. Take it forward to reverse. Palms back into alignment into warrior 2. And then come back into warrior 1. But this time a high lunge. Clasp the fingertips behind you. Take the different clasp this time so your pinky finger is ahead on top. If you need to take a jump, come in. Take a point of focus in front of you and into warrior 3. Square off those hips. 2 more breaths here. Listen carefully, bend that left knee, bring it up towards that hover. Release the grasp. Take your right hand over to the left knee. And if you fancy a twist, take that left hand over. And look at the thumb. 2 breaths here. Really drive down with that right foot. Last breath. Beautiful, come back to center. Drop those feet down, palms up towards the sky. Big inhale, dive straight down to the floor, hip hinge. Lift up halfway. Chaturanga or no chaturanga, take what you need. Your choice, everybody meets in downward dog. And breathe 3 breaths here. Beautiful, raise that right leg up. We're gonna do the whole sequence again, but add on. Take that right foot in between those hands, drop that left leg down, come up to a warrior 1, hold. Beautiful. Inhale here. Exhale, take it over to your warrior 2. So this is the side that we've just done, yeah? Inhale here, reverse. Take it up and behind you. Lift up that chest. Inhale, exhale, back to warrior 2. Inhale, exhale, warrior 1. Transfer yourself straight back in. Take the clasp this time. Right behind you. Inhale, puff up that chest. And then exhale, humble warrior. Take that shoulder right down into that thigh. Beautiful. Breathe here. See if you can go a little bit lower. 2 more breaths. Last breath. Listen carefully. Release those hands. Come into a nice low lunge. Keeping that back leg raised. Bear with me. Can't quite see where I was there. Here. Yeah? Take a deep breath in. High lunge position. Beautiful. 1 more breath. This time, this is your next variation. We're going to go into a dancer pose. So pick that left leg up. And then we're going to clasp our left hand with our heel, with our ankle. Hold, hold, hold. If this is your dancer today, stay here. For those of you who are coming with me, we're now going to push your hand into the palm and the palm into the ankle. And then drop down and extend. 2 more breaths. Focus on that lower leg pushing into the ground. Your palm pushing into the ankle pushing into your hand. Come up nice and slowly. And then drop both feet down. Just take a moment. Cycle up those feet. Both palms up to the sky. Exhale, drop down to the floor. Halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga or no chaturanga, you could choose. Drop down. Inhale. Exhale, everybody meet in down dog. 2 breaths. Lift up that left leg, draw it straight through. Right foot comes down, warrior 1, straight up. Beautiful. 2 breaths here. Slowly and carefully take your position into warrior 2. Open up that chest. Come into that neutrality, that alignment. Making sure that knee is pushing towards the 3rd and 4th toe. Ground your energy. Find your breath. Reverse. Beautiful. Come back to warrior 2. Take yourself into that high lunge position. Clasp, pardon me, your warrior 2 position. So drop that back foot down, clasp the fingertips behind you. Inhale, lift up that chest. Exhale, humble warrior. See if you can go a little bit deeper. Try and get that shoulder right next to your knee. So they say that you should be able to touch the floor with your head. I'm not there yet. I don't think I'll ever get there, but we aim to try, right? Take a deep breath and exhale. Beautiful. Rise up nice and slowly. This time we're going to come into that dancer pose, so lift that leg up, release the clasp, and then taking the heel or the front of the ankle into that palm. Now, if this is dancer pose enough for you, raise the right arm, the left arm up. Inhale here, and this could be enough. Yeah, nice strong left leg. For those of you who are coming with me, push the ankle into the palm. The palm is pulling into the ankle, and then drop down. Hold position. Breathe. Last breath. Carefully bring that knee back in to that standing position. Release with control, and then just stand and come into that neutrality. Bring those palms up to the sky. Exhale, hinge from the hips, down to the ground, halfway lift. Chaturanga or no chaturanga, you choose. Take yourself back. Up, down. Meet me in down dog, 3 breaths. Beautiful. Jump, step or hop, both feet right to the center. Inhale, halfway lift. Drop down and root to rise all the way back up. Beautiful. Hands to center. And this time we are going to go straight into our eagle pose. So taking a focal point ahead of you, about 45 degrees, plant your left foot in the floor and then cross over that right foot. Now, if this is enough for you, you might want to just take your hands in a prayer position, or you might want to take your hands on your hips, whatever you prefer. If you can, take both arms up wide, and then exhale, we're going to take the left arm under the right, and really push the elbows away from your shoulders, making sure they are nice and parallel to the ground. If this is enough for you, stay here. Remember, squeeze those legs together. If you come out of this pose at all, doesn't matter, come back in when you're ready. Deep breath in. Option is elbow to knee. Inhale back up. Exhale, 2 more. Elbow to knee. Back up. And last one, elbow to knee, back up, and hold, and hold. Spread those fingertips out wide, release that leg, and then just stand in Tadasana, stand in mountain pose, just hold this position. Ground that energy. Now I noticed that not everybody was doing that one, and if you wanted to just sit back in a chair pose with those palms forward, if you wanted to do a prayer chair pose, it is completely up to you. For those of you coming with me, ground that right foot. Let's get that left leg right over and squeeze those thighs together. Really squeeze. Remember, one leg might be different than the other. If you're coming with me, you could either take your palms into a prayer, or you can take those arms nice and wide, and this time the right arm goes under. So opposite clasp. Take a deep breath in here. Hold, hold, hold. If you're coming with me, elbows all the way down. And then back up. Beautiful. 2 more. Squeeze the core, squeeze those legs. You guys are doing fantastic. Remember, if you fall out, it's okay. Come back in when you're ready. I think we had 1 more. I was chattering away. So I think that was 1 more. If you've done extra, I apologize. Come back in, hold, hold, hold. Squeeze a little bit tighter. Palms up nice and wide. And then release that clasp. Stand into Tadasana. Just absorb what your legs have just done, your core has just done, what you've accomplished. Hold here. Beautiful. If anybody has a block, I recommend taking the block. It's not essential, but taking it in between your thighs. It's just forcing your thighs to squeeze together that little bit tighter. So you don't have to have it. Feet hip distance. We're going to take our palms shoulder distance apart, palms together. Take a deep breath in. Squeeze the glutes here, squeeze the block if you can, squeeze those thighs. Sit back into those heels and hold position. Squeezing everything up, taking a focus point ahead of you. And squeeze the abdominals. Release any tension you may be feeling. See if you can just slow down that breath. I am counting. But I just want you to focus on squeezing the legs and focusing on deepening your exhale. If you can go down a little bit further, please do. Beautiful. Couple more breaths here. Stick with me. Your arms might be shaking a little bit because they're actually pushing together. Imagine you're pushing a block between those hands. Good. 2 more. Last one, inhale, push the feet into the ground, raise those palms up, and then exhale, draw those palms down, release the block. Beautiful. Just step to the top of the mat if you're not already there. Sweep those arms up to the sky. Exhale, down to the floor. Let's just do a few sun salutations, halfway lift. Exhale, frame the left foot, take that right foot back. And then low lunge, lift up. Frame the left foot, kill that back toe, halfway lift. Exhale, lower, left leg goes back. And then raise up, low lunge. Frame that right foot, both feet together, halfway lift. Exhale and lower, root to rise, all the way back up. Let's do that whole thing again. Inhale. Palms up to the sky. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Inhale, halfway. This time left foot goes back. All the way up. Frame the right foot. Squeeze those legs as you halfway lift. Exhale, step that right foot back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Both feet together, halfway lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, root to rise. 1 more to get to the ground. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, lower to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left foot back. Low lunge. Exhale, frame the right foot. Halfway lift. Exhale, right foot back. Low lunge. Exhale, frame the left foot this time, but curl that back foot into a plank position. You can either drop to your knees or chaturanga and all the way to the belly. Okay, this time taking those fingertips alongside the mat, palms up. Forehead in line with the mat. Squeeze those legs so your knees are off the mat and then raise up with that upper body. Keep those palms down, keep those legs down, just the upper body that's lifting, and breathe. And breathe. And breathe and lower down. Whew, beautiful. This time, legs only, okay? So keep your forehead down on the mat. Inhale, legs lift. And chest lift. So leave the hands on the mat. And breathe. And breathe, squeeze those legs. One more breath. And lower down to the mat. This time, inhale, upper body lift, lower body lift, palms lift, the whole body. 3 breaths. Two breaths. Last breath. Lower down with control. And just rest your palms down alongside forehead. Rest on those backs of those arms and just breathe. One more breath. Taking those palms now alongside your breastbone or your nipples. Pressing the feet down, palms down. And then squeeze up into a mini cobra pose. Beautiful. Only go to the height that you can open up the chest and look straight ahead of you. Squeezing the legs, squeezing the glutes. Let's do this a couple times. So lower with control. Inhale, lift up. Exhale and lower. 2 more. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. Last one. Inhale, lift, hold, hold, hold. 2 breaths. Last one, and lower with control. So you can either keep your hands alongside your nipples, or if you fancy a little bit of a change, I'm taking my fingertips as wide as my mat. And then I'm going to TP up to my fingers. So elbows are going to be nice and wide here, okay? Take a deep breath in if you're coming with me. You're going to push the ground away with those palms. Lift up with the upper body and broaden that chest. Nice big cobra position. Try and relax your shoulders away from your ears. Bend the elbows a little bit more. So it's almost like I'm coming into a goalpost position with my arms and then opening up my chest. 2 more breaths here. Last breath. Beautiful. I'm going to start with this side. Extend my right arm alongside my shoulder. Keep my left hand TP'd up. And then I'm going to roll over to the right side. Now some of you might have gone a little bit too deep and you don't need to roll. You can literally just stay here. For those of you who want that little bit of stretch around that shoulder, take that back leg. Breathe here. Last breath. Beautiful. Slowly and carefully come back to center. And then extend that left arm out. Your right fingers are TP'd up. And then you're going to roll over that left arm. So remember, if this is pinching, if this is hurting, you might have gone too deep. Go to a place where you can feel slightly comfortable and you can feel a sensation stretching across your pectorals, your deltoids. Beautiful. Last breath. Slowly and carefully roll back to the center and just take crocodile pose just for a second. Take those feet apart, palms on top of palms, and then lower down your head and hold here. Last breath. And slowly and carefully roll over onto your back. And find a nice neutral position. If you've got blocks, you might want blocks underneath your knees for a more comfortable corpse pose. If you have a blanket, you might want to put a blanket over you. Feet out wide, palms open, and breathe. So find yourself a comfortable position. You've worked so hard today, even despite my hiccups between my left and right. You guys did so well. You inspire me to be a better version of myself when I step onto the mat. So thank you. Thank you for allowing me to cultivate my expertise and my knowledge, and for holding space. What can you be thankful for yourself for stepping on the mat? Start with the toes, start releasing any tension around the feet and the toes, around the ankles. Release any tension that you're feeling around the calves, around the knees, the inside and outside thighs, your pelvis and your glutes, your abdominals and your lower back. Allow these muscles to settle, to relax. Allow your abdominals to soften, your upper and mid back to relax. Your shoulders, your biceps, your elbows, your forearms, your wrists and your fingertips. As those fingertips curl up ever so slightly, allow the backs of the hands to be supported by the ground. Allow your shoulders and your neck muscles to relax, your neck. Give yourself a gentle swallow here. Relax your facial muscles, your nose, your cheeks, your eyes, your ears, your forehead, and your temple, top of the head, your cranium, and breathe. Start to deepen that breath. Inhaling through the belly. And bring awareness to your extremities, your fingers and your toes. You might want to just give them a slight wiggle. Acknowledge that you're coming back to the present state. Stretch those arms up overhead, those feet out in front of you. Give yourself a big, gracious stretch. And when you're ready, bring those knees in towards your chest and just rock from side to side. You've been reborn into this moment, so it's another level of awakening. And when you're ready, turn over to your favorite side and just be in this fetal position, just for a few breaths. Allow yourself to be nurtured in this moment. Breathe here. And when you're ready, slowly push yourself up to a seated position. Keeping those eyes gently closed. Take 3 centering breaths here. Taking those arms and sweeping them from the ground all the way up to the sky. Gather all the energy that you've cultivated on this mat this morning. Bring those arms down to your heart space. Your thumbs are pushing into your sternum. Open up that chest. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale through the nose. If you're coming with me for 1 Om, take a deep breath in. Thank you everyone for joining me. I hope you really enjoyed that as much as I did teaching it. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like, and the notification bell so you don't miss out on new content, and it helps me grow this channel. So I would love to have you a part of this community. Join, click subscribe, and come back soon so we do this all again. Sending you so much love. Have an amazing day.